Narcissists realize that they will soon die because of you. What happens next is shocking. When the narcissist realizes they've lost their grip on you, what unfolds next can be nothing short of astonishing. Narcissists hold themselves in the highest regard, believing they are the pinnacle of creation. They see themselves as superior beings in every aspect. They claim to know more, be stronger, possess greater resources, exude more charisma, and achieve greater success than anyone else. While they may occasionally feign victimhood, it's merely a ploy to garner attention. They actively seek admiration and praise, often cloaking themselves in false modesty in hopes that others will recognize their supposed greatness. But beneath this facade lies a turbulent seed of anguish, hopelessness, and depression, perpetually knocking at the door of their minds. A nagging voice inside the narcissist's head whispers that they are not the paragon they pretend to be, that they are, in truth, deceivers. They go to great lengths to drown out this unsettling truth, avoiding anything or anyone that might confront them with it. They cannot entertain the possibility of being exposed as frauds, so they shut their ears to any dissenting voices. Instead, they venture out into the world, desperate to prove their worth to both you and themselves. But what happens when they fail to assert their dominance over you and your surroundings? That's when things take a turn for the worse. The narcissist's demeanor becomes increasingly unpleasant as they grapple with the reality of their diminishing control. Their desperation mounts, and their attempts to regain their lost power may take on increasingly manipulative and destructive forms. 1. Prepare for the narcissist to rally allies against you. When direct persuasion fails, narcissists resort to covert manipulation, rallying others to their cause behind your back. Never underestimate their prowess at turning people against you. They've likely been sowing seeds of doubt about you for some time. Don't be caught off guard if someone you've always treated kindly suddenly turns hostile, or if strangers give you strange glances for no apparent reason. The narcissist has likely woven a web of lies about you to those in your circle. Revealing their true colors would bruise their fragile ego, so they'll invest years in tarnishing your reputation to match their own. 2. Let's journey into the domain of fury, vengeance, and narcissistic wrath. When a narcissist realizes they can't control you, they'll stop at nothing to dismantle your self-worth and smear your reputation. They'll go to great lengths to sow chaos and inflict maximum pain. Narcissists seldom exit relationships or friendships gracefully. Instead, they leave behind a trail of disputes and bitterness. They'll attempt to portray you as the instigator of all strife and turmoil, ramping up public criticism and tirades to extreme levels. It takes courage to see through their facade and recognize their true essence. You demonstrate bravery by doing so. Despite the narcissist's grandiose self-image, you dare to establish boundaries and demand respect. Your bravery in breaking free from such toxicity warrants acknowledgement and praise. Following that, narcissists will set their sights on your social media presence. Regardless of the degree of their narcissism, their emotional immaturity becomes apparent as they avoid constructive problem-solving. Instead, they turn to your social media platforms as a battleground for their maneuvers, ceaselessly seeking opportunities to exploit your information. 3. Their conduct is a tangled web of inconsistency. Initially, they may feign ignorance, pretending to be oblivious to your concerns, creating the illusion of being difficult to deceive. This individual seems incapable of grasping the reasons behind your distress or the impact of their actions. Should you dare to question their sincerity or motives, they'll react with feigned confusion and defensiveness. They remain oblivious to the gravity of their behavior or the consequences of their choices, opting instead to assume the role of the victim, deflecting attention from the real issue at hand. 4. They'll vehemently assert that you've wronged or harmed them. Narcissists feel affronted when they perceive a loss of control over your perception of them and the world around them. When you cease to allow them to manipulate you financially or emotionally, you signal that their power over you is waning. Despite their harmful deeds, they consistently paint themselves as blameless and misunderstood. You'll hear repeated denials such as, "I never said that," or "No, that's not true." They'll question the validity of your emotions and actions, casting you as overly sensitive. Crafting narratives where you are cast as the villain, they seek sympathy and validation for their distorted portrayal of events. 5. Brace yourself for deceptive explanations. Narcissists operate without empathy or ethical boundaries, believing they are entitled to act without regard for the harm they inflict. Don't be swayed by their hollow apologies. Once they regain your trust, they'll revert to their manipulative ways. If you stand firm against their deceit and manipulation, they'll seek out a new victim, leaving you in peace. Though the road ahead may be arduous, remember that the journey is well worth the struggle. And with that, our discussion draws to a close. If you found this insightful, please show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching and for your continued support. Welcome back to my channel. Huge shout out to all my new followers and the long-time supporters. It's truly an honor to have each of you here today. You're all champions in your own unique ways. Today, let's delve into the profound impact of choosing to disconnect from toxic influences. We're diving into the realm of narcissistic abuse, where individuals stagnate in their personal growth and actively hinder yours. You might have encountered such people, those who stunt your progress in order to overshadow your brilliance and diminish your presence. The paradox of egotistical abuse lies in its intention to transform us for the better, despite its profound harm. Many of us who've endured this ordeal harbor an innate resilience. Yet, it often takes enduring abuse to realize the strength within and fully embrace the journey towards self-discovery. Walking away, even amidst immense pain, showcases our greatest fortitude. Though it's daunting, breaking free from toxic familial ties, relationships, or complex situations marks a pivotal moment leading toward our liberation. When we muster the courage to depart, we shed the moral shackles imposed upon us by these individuals. Consider the selfish family members who've cast shadows over your life. They've been the sources of turmoil and misfortune. Recognize that engaging with a narcissist is akin to entering a mental battleground. This is a fight not to be underestimated. Remember, prioritizing your mental well-being and severing ties with toxic influences isn't selfish. It's an act of self-preservation and empowerment. So, embrace your strength and don't hesitate to walk away from anything that dims your light and stifles your growth. Within you lies a vast reservoir of power. The question remains, will you wield it to break free? Departing from someone with whom you share a profound bond is undeniably daunting. It's akin to parting ways with a cherished child you've nurtured. Yet, amidst the overwhelming guilt, it's crucial to recognize that this step is imperative for preserving your own well-being. It's widely acknowledged that the entrance of a narcissist into your life isn't a stroke of divine intervention. Rather, they serve as formidable trials that fortify our inner strength. Those with narcissistic tendencies are believed to cross our paths with purpose, regardless of the depth of our connection. Their presence isn't arbitrary, it's part of a grander scheme. Understanding this truth is paramount. For the longer they linger in our lives, the greater their influence over our trajectory, choices, and future becomes. You wield immense power, and it emanates from your ability to disconnect. Liberation lies in reclaiming your autonomy and seizing control of your destiny anew. Choosing not to engage with those who bring toxicity into your life transcends mere self-preservation. It serves as your lifeline. It's the pivotal action needed to thwart the detrimental effects of narcissistic abuse. The impact of narcissistic abuse can be profound, stripping away our aspirations and corroding the essence of our being. It robs us of our unique talents and blessings, leaving behind a trail of sorrow, stress, and anguish. This anguish is exacerbated when inflicted by those who profess love and support, those who should be our pillars of solace and encouragement. This inner conflict can leave us feeling adrift and bewildered, turning our lives into a chaotic reflection of our internal turmoil. In the presence of narcissists, our struggles may be belittled, our flaws mocked, and our vulnerabilities exploited. Yet, it is amidst this very chaos that we must recognize our inherent strength. The ability to detach is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to your resilience. You alone hold the reins of your life. Despite the narcissist's attempts to manipulate and control, seeking to deprive you of joy and contentment, their efforts may inadvertently unleash your inner fortitude. I like to think of this as tapping into your beast mode. Embracing the power to disconnect and walk away is no easy feat, particularly when your safety is at stake. But with each stride forward, the path becomes clearer. As you grow stronger and wiser, previously unimaginable victories and opportunities may materialize. Shedding the shackles of negativity paves the way for a brighter existence. My inner radiance has flourished, and much of this positive transformation stems from my decision to unplug. When you reach that pivotal moment, you realize that enough is enough. Refusing to tolerate further mistreatment, you sever ties with narcissists, reclaiming your autonomy. This single act of defiance is potent enough to liberate you, safeguarding your well-being. Sometimes, when life feels like an uphill battle, it's because a narcissist is pulling the strings. Trust me, the psychological warfare is real. That's precisely why it's imperative to step back and disengage, to reclaim your life and reclaim your spirit. Here's the unalterable truth, my friends. The power to change lies within you. Having the ability to detach and take a break empowers us immensely. It's about taking charge of our lives, propelling ourselves forward, severing ties with the past, and turning a blind eye to negativity. This could entail changing phone numbers, relocating, blocking individuals, or simply disregarding those who seek to disrupt our peace. The power to enact these changes lies within us, and it's imperative that we wield it. In the company of a narcissist, we're often viewed as playthings, mere pawns in their game. By disconnecting, stepping away, and standing resolute in our decisions, we assert our worth and demonstrate that we're not to be trifled with. It's crucial to acknowledge the extent of the harm they've inflicted. Will you fully embrace the power of your choice to disconnect? Will you confront the truth head-on and accept it for what it is? Ascension signifies that life should ascend after its onset. By bravely severing ties with those who've caused you pain, no matter the difficulty or duration, you pave the way for a future brimming with happiness, tranquility, and fulfillment. Many of you stand on the brink of making this decision, teetering on the edge of cutting all cords. You're on the verge of breaking free from the narcissist's grasp. Pay close attention to how this choice will rescue you and usher in positive changes, because you possess the strength to break away. These blessings will hold significant meaning, showcasing the profound power of reclaiming your autonomy and stepping into the brilliance of your own destiny. When you disconnect from someone, you owe them no explanation. It's about prioritizing your well-being, following through on that commitment, and then embarking on extraordinary endeavors in your life. When you disconnect, it's not about how they react or what repercussions they face. They are accountable for their emotions due to their narcissistic tendencies. It's not your burden to bear. You've reached a point where you no longer want to bear the emotional burden of a relationship with that parent, spouse, or overbearing boss. You make a decisive choice without second-guessing. Like the narcissistic neighbor you opt to steer clear of, they fade into insignificance because you no longer invest any care in them. Even your friend, recognized as a narcissist, should be temporarily cut off from your life. It's time to sever weak ties forged with others, built on hollow expressions of affection like, "I love you," "I need you," or "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." If you're dealing with a master manipulator, these words are often nothing but falsehoods, regardless of their role, be it spouse, lover, or friend. Their presence only brings turmoil and distress. Reclaim your strength and liberate yourself with resolute determination. There's no need to harbor guilt for preserving your time and energy. You've already invested enough in salvaging the relationship. Now, your primary commitment is to yourself, to discover serenity and joy, to revel in authentic affection, and to savor moments of solitude devoid of manipulation and deceit. Disconnecting isn't merely about forging ahead. It's about catapulting yourself towards a brighter tomorrow. Focus on your personal evolution, not theirs. Embrace solitude, cultivate self-nurturing, and perceive disengagement as an affirmation of self-value. Prioritize your well-being, safeguard your health, and pave the path toward a luminous future. That's where your genuine power resides. The act of separation wields immense potency. They've earned the repercussions through their actions. Don't hesitate to take this pivotal stride. Breaking ties with those who sow negativity in your life is an incredibly empowering choice. The fortitude you garner from removing those who detract from your journey knows no bounds. To disconnect is to prioritize your well-being, cherish self-love, and honor your life. Sending heaps of love and light your way, my dear companions. Keep progressing and thriving. You've got this, and know that I stand beside you in spirit. Together, we are shedding ties with those who no longer serve us. We've severed communication, and will continue to do so, because it's what's best for us. For those navigating the dating scene, refuse to tolerate deceit or disrespect. The moment you feel undervalued, sever ties without hesitation. Disconnect, disconnect, disconnect. This is what sets you apart. Surround yourself with those who uplift and propel you forward. The world is brimming with beauty, opportunity, and abundance. You deserve far more than what you've endured. The contribution of these narcissists is negligible. Learn to disengage from their influence, recognize the strength it imbues within you, and embrace it. We'll reconvene soon. If our conversation has bolstered your resolve, please like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, spread this message to others who may benefit, and don't forget to subscribe for more empowering content. Your support encourages everyone in our community to grow stronger together. Take care until we meet again.
Today, we embark on a captivating journey deep into the recesses of the human psyche, with a keen focus on the pivotal moment when a narcissist grapples with the stark reality of their loss. Take a moment to let the gravity of this revelation sink in. Should you find yourself resonating with our expedition, we warmly invite you to express your support by engaging with our content. Leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and generously share our insights with your circle. Furthermore, for those seeking a more immersive exploration into the intricate realm of narcissism, be sure not to overlook our complimentary course, Narcissism 101, Unveiling the Red Flags, Charting Your Course to Liberation, and Cultivating a Revitalized Existence. Be sure to peruse the description for access to this invaluable resource. Now, let us plunge into the profound repercussions that unfold when a narcissist is confronted with the daunting prospect of losing it all. In simpler terms, the narcissist eventually comes to terms with the stark reality that they've forfeited something invaluable, you. This epiphany strikes them with force, prompting them to peer beyond the confines of a single failed relationship. They begin to grasp the extent of the havoc they've wreaked on all their interpersonal connections, owing to their self-centered demeanor. Narcissists are adept at manipulating and inflicting harm upon others, often without even realizing the magnitude of their actions. They weave webs of deceit and sow seeds of discord, leaving a trail of chaos in their wake. While this may not have been apparent during the initial stages of your involvement, the picture is now coming into sharper focus. When the narcissist confronts their own downfall, a torrent of regret and sorrow floods their consciousness. They come to the sobering realization that they're not omnipotent beings but merely ordinary individuals, subject to the same vulnerabilities as everyone else. In moments of introspection, they cast a backward glance at the wreckage they've wrought, ruining the missed opportunities, the lives they've tarnished, and the facade they've maintained. It's only then that the stark truth dawns upon them. A life built on deceit and manipulation leads inexorably to isolation and desolation. For those who've borne the brunt of a narcissist's cruelty, the road to recovery resembles an arduous odyssey, fraught with trials and tribulations. It demands unwavering fortitude and unwavering resolve to confront each painful recollection head-on. Yet, with steadfast determination, one can gradually retrace their steps back to selfhood, wresting back the autonomy that the narcissist so callously usurped. Amidst the journey toward healing, the question of forgiveness often looms large. Can one find it in themselves to pardon the narcissist for the anguish they've inflicted? However, before the prospect of forgiveness can even be entertained, there lies a Herculean task ahead. Breaking free from the bonds of trauma, reconstructing one's social fabric, and perhaps even embarking on a fresh start in unfamiliar terrain are all integral facets of this transformative process. But let's not be beguiled. Extending forgiveness to a narcissist is akin to expecting swine to take wing. These Machiavellian schemers insinuate themselves into your life, ensnaring you in a labyrinth of despair and leaving a trail of shattered souls in their wake. Had you only been privy to their true nature from the outset, you would have barred the door against their pernicious influence. Narcissists thrive on inflicting anguish, leaving devastation in their wake as they flit from one victim to the next. They are acutely aware of the havoc they wreak, yet they persist in their destructive ways. However, inevitably, the consequences of their actions catch up with them, compelling them to confront the grim reality of their deeds. It's undeniably gratifying to witness karma catching up to narcissists, though when you're ensnared in their intricate web of manipulation, such satisfaction may elude you. You may have harbored hopes of them acknowledging their wrongdoing and granting you closure, but let's be honest, narcissists harbor no concern for anyone beyond themselves. When severing ties with a narcissist, anticipate no swift departure on their part. They resemble vultures, biding their time for the opportune moment to discard you when you're most vulnerable. It's their customary modus operandi, perpetually scouting for fresh prey to satiate their insatiable needs. However, resist falling prey to their artifice. At times, a narcissist may wax nostalgic about the shared moments of bliss, but it's all a ploy to maintain their grip on you. In their eyes, you're merely a means to inflate their ego, a glistening trophy to flaunt. For those navigating a divorce with a narcissistic partner, brace yourself for a protracted and agonizing ordeal. They're keenly aware of your worth. They regard you as the epitome of affection, empathy, and adoration, everything necessary for them to feel significant. They won't relinquish their hold easily, prolonging the divorce proceedings to maintain their dominance over you. I don't intend to unsettle you, but it's imperative to grasp the stark reality of dealing with narcissists. They possess an uncanny knack for sapping your vitality and pilfering years of your life, all without you even realizing it. Let's dissect this. When you part ways with a narcissist, they're acutely aware of what they're forfeiting. They grasp precisely the void left in their lives by your absence. Prior to and following you, they had a string of comparisons, always assessing their options. But what you contributed was distinct, irreplaceable. You were their anchor, the steadfast presence in tumultuous times. You stood steadfast, investing in the relationship, while they viewed it as a means to exploit you. They remained oblivious to love, kindness, or stability. To them, you were merely a tool, a conduit for their self-serving desires. Now, post-relationship, guess who comes knocking? Bingo, the narcissist. Ever heard of hoovering? It's their ploy to pull you back into their toxic orbit. Perhaps they lack alternatives or crave more of what you offered, your unwavering support, your emotional availability. You fueled their fragile ego. They recognized how you buoyed their self-esteem, aided them financially, and lent an ear, no questions asked. So, when they attempt to ensnare you once more, remember, it's all a ruse to entangle you in their game of manipulation and torment. They hunger for another dose of control over you, employing any means to ensnare you. It's grim, but regrettably, it's their playbook. Let's be honest, will a narcissist ever reflect and acknowledge their missteps? They may glimpse back and lament their loss. But admitting fault? Unlikely. In their view, they perpetually occupy the superior pedestal, devoid of blame. Seriously, how many times did they genuinely apologize? How often did you witness authentic remorse, not just a facade? They made promises of change, pleaded for another chance, but it was all hollow promises. In the end, you invested your heart and soul into the relationship, and they callously devoured it, leaving you with nothing but emptiness. Listen closely. In the beginning, everything raced at breakneck speed because they needed to ensnare you in their manipulative web. But as time wore on, their responses dwindled, leaving you bewildered. Did they lose interest? Find someone new? It's anyone's guess. What's crystal clear is that if a relationship seems too flawless, it's likely a trap. Once they had you firmly in their grasp, they commenced playing mind games. They possessed an uncanny knack for manipulation, and you fell prey to it time and again. Within moments, you were glued to your phone, eagerly awaiting their messages. Yet, over time, those messages became infrequent, and when they did reply, it was with minimal effort. It felt as though they couldn't be bothered. Meanwhile, they were cozying up to others, pouring their hearts out, while you received only half-hearted responses. Why were you left with mere crumbs while others received the entire feast? The answer is simple: they had already set their sights on their next conquest. They're perpetuating the cycle, just as they did with you, and it won't cease until you break free or they discard you. Sooner or later, the narcissist will come to realize the extent of their losses. Their toxic behavior poisons relationships with their own children, business associates, and acquaintances. People catch on to their schemes and cease extending invitations, and those purported lifelong friends? Don't be deceived by the years. They're likely being utilized by the narcissist to maintain appearances or fulfill their own selfish desires. But the facade can't last forever. Sooner or later, it crumbles, and people begin to glimpse the true colors beneath. They leave a trail of shattered relationships in their wake. Sooner or later, it's just their modus operandi. Ever pondered why some individuals fail to see through a narcissist's charade? Well, there are a couple of explanations. Perhaps they do perceive it but opt to remain silent to avoid becoming the next victim. Or maybe they simply don't spend enough time in the narcissist's company to uncover the truth. It's as straightforward as that. The bulk of the abuse occurs when you're alone with the narcissist, whether in the car or at home. That's when their true nature emerges, and they transform into a complete nightmare. But in public? Oh, they're all smiles and charm, desperate to maintain their illusion as the epitome of perfection. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, they unleash all manner of abuse upon you, emotional, spiritual, financial, you name it. Yet deep down, they're aware they've lost you. They'll never admit it, though. They're too busy convincing themselves they're superior to everyone else. They understood your worth, yet they treated you with disdain. But guess what? You're stronger now than ever before. You emerged from the ashes like a boss, shining brighter and more resilient than ever. Now it's game over for the narcissist. While they're out there wreaking havoc on unsuspecting victims, you're living your best life. Deep down, they'll come to realize their colossal blunder. Because that's exactly what it was. They let go of someone truly remarkable. So hold your head high, stay true to yourself, and never doubt your worth. You've got this, and you're not alone. Let the journey to healing commence, my friend.